Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this Q&A clinic. We are going to wait for a couple of minutes so we give the opportunity to everybody to join. As always, we will be using a Slido, and also this session is going to be recorded, and we will make it available in the EMA YouTube channel and also in the event webpage. You can use a Slido for the questions and upvote the different questions that we have. So can we just go please to the next slide here? So we keep this slide so you can start submitting your questions and upvoting. We wait for a couple of minutes so everybody can join, and then we come back to the other slide and I explain you the upcoming events and everything, but let's wait for 2 minutes so everybody can join. Thank you. I think we can start. I already see a couple of questions coming in Slido. You can keep submitting your questions and upvoting them. Just a kind reminder of the upcoming events that we will have during this quarter. So the next Q&A clinics on the PMS API and in the product UI, it's happening on the 22nd of November. You can already register, and yeah, if you have any questions, but you can go also to these Q&A clinics and ask there. Also, a very important webinar that we will have on the 25th of November is for the submission of manufacturers and manufacturing business operations that we have for PMS, so the enrichment process of these specific data elements. This is happening on the 25th. You can already registered. We have already received a couple of questions from the SMEs that have been gathering all these questions from industry and marketing authorization holders. We will have a discussion also with the ESMP colleagues, so we can agree on the reply to those questions, and then we will be able to explain everything related to this enrichment process and the submission of manufacturers on the 25th. And as always, at the end of the quarter, we have the public system demo as part of this agile way of working, and this is happening for this quarter on the 12th of December. So I think we have a good attendance. I think also then we can start with the Q&A. We need Katerina to log in 1 second, so you can keep sending your questions. But otherwise, maybe I can also present maybe. I think we have a new Slido, so that's why I can do it, Katerina. If you are not able to do it, I can share. Okay, no worry. So we have the first question is, let me put it here. So for non-caps with one medicinal product full name, 2 PMS IDs are created because there are 2 authorized dose forms, but we are unsure how packagings are divided by EMA in both PMS IDs, as this information cannot be verified from the SMPC. Which packs will go to which PMS IDs? Please clarify. So for this, you need to review Chapter 7 of the EUIG and also Chapter 9, where we have explained the grouping elements that we use when we migrate data from XBMPD. So it's not only the full name of the medicinal product, but we use to group products or EV codes under the same medicinal product. It's also the combination of the active substance and the strength. It's also the authorized dose form. In some cases, is the MA number or the procedure number, so depending on the country. So EV codes with the same information on the grouping elements will be grouped under the same medicinal product. So even if you have 2 EV codes with the same full name, if the active substance or the strength is different between different EV codes, then we will separate them. Now, if you go to XBMPD and you harmonize all this information among these EV codes, then we will group them together back in the same medicinal product. So yeah, please review Chapter 7 and Chapter 9 for the initial migration and for the deltas, and you will be able to find there all the information. Then you confirmed that many known issues, for example, incorrect ingredients and nullification of duplicates, PMS IDs, multiple pharmaceutical products, etc., will be resolved by the end of October, but PMS still reflects these issues and a specific date of resolution. So in the product UI, there is a section where you can find the FAQ document for PMS. There we have listed the issues that we know, and for some of them, we have indicated the date or the expected date when these will be resolved. For most of them, it's not October, it's November, and it is reflected like this in this document. So for example, this incorrect ingredients is happening by mid of November. The nullification of duplicates, it's already there. So if you have a nullified product, you will not be able to see it in the product UI. You can see them in the dynamic reports. But this, for example, is going to be solved in the next 2 weeks. Then the multiple pharmaceutical products, that will be solved in Q1. So please go to this document. It's in the product UI. I can actually share where do we have it, so you can have a look. I hope you can still see my screen. So if I go,
yes.
If I go here, in the PMS guidance, then you have guide documents, frequently asked documents. And here is where you can see for the, sorry, let me, one second, sorry. Okay, so here in the known issues, so here is where you can see that some of them, so this is the document. This will be resolved by the end of Q4. Then for some of them, we have by the end of October, the nullified products, as I said, ingredients by mid of November. So you have all the information here. So please go and check this document because there's a lot of information. I think here, okay. When will be the 29th of October webinar recording available?
On that,
yeah.
I can respond, Marcos. So the webinar, the recording, sorry, was sent for publication. So it will be available on YouTube and then afterwards on the event webpage at latest next week. While I can tell you for sure that today the recording from the 16th of October webinar, so the shorter one, will be available on YouTube. So you can already have that one today.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so for duplicate PMS IDs created because of wrong validation in EVWeb by EMA for medicinal product full name, and the issue with the space in the full name, will EMA perform the corrections, or does EMA expect EMA holders to resubmit in XBMPD? A ticket has been raised with EMA but not response yet. So if you have submitted the ticket for the XBMPD team as part of the validation, then they will pick this ticket. And if they agree that the validation was not performed correctly, they will do this change. They just need time to pick the tickets. In theory, you should have submitted this ticket for XBMPD, not for PMS, because it's let's say an issue or a request to the XBMPD team. Otherwise, if they don't pick the ticket, just wait, because it's gonna happen like in this week. It should happen. They are very fast with the validation of the tickets and review of the tickets, so it should be taken by them very soon. Then, what is the source of information for the PMS dynamic reports, ingredients, and manufacturers? So, the source of data for manufacturers is Cyamed. From Cyamed, it goes to PMS. From PMS, it goes to something that we call the Iris Dataverse. And from there is where we take the data for these dynamic reports. But in essence, is Cyamed. Then ingredients, it depends. For caps, we have ingredients at the level of the manufacturer item. It's only for caps, and this is coming from Cyamed, and we have then from XBMPD for the pharmaceutical product, but the dynamic reports is taking the data from XBMPD. So yeah, dynamic reports are taking the data depending on the product and on the field, either from Cyamed or from XBMPD for the data that we have in PMS. So we migrate, and then it's where we take this information.
Something. This Dinos and Passes NPO. The data for manufacturers is of course available only for cup products, not for NAP products, as Cyamed holds data for cups only. And manufacturers enrichment for NAP products is only foreseen later in early 2025.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, Dino, for the clarification. Then I think this is already replied to. It's the issue with the validation, so we can skip this one. Then, could you clarify what is intended for a structured pack size that will enrich the PMS? It is sufficient the pack size description, for example, 2 milligrams 10-8 tablet in blister alu PVC. No, PCV. So this should be the package description, and this should be already included in XBMPD. The structured data on pack sizes is the quantity and the unit of presentation. So for example, for this specific use case, the structured data on pack sizes would be 28 tablet. You need to include this, the quantity that would be 28, and then tablet, which is it's the unit of presentation. It can also be 3 vials, I don't know, 10 film coated tablets. So it's this specific section. If you go to chapter 2, we have what we call the package size, and there you have a unit of presentation and a quantity. Then this description that we have in this example is the package description, and this is coming and should be reflected in XBMPD. In the webinar on the 25th, even if it's for manufacturers, I will also explain this. It's very easy. I will just put on a slide because at the end is the enrichment process. But here we don't have so many questions than in the for the manufacturers. But I hope I have replied also here to this question. Then, for some MRP products, the medicinal product ingredient section is empty, and it reads, data are not available in Cyamed XBMPD and not loaded. Users are encouraged to provide it when applicable. Can EMA explain this reason? So, this data should be coming from XBMPD. If it's empty, maybe it's this issue related to the missing ingredients, and you need to wait to mid of November. In principle, we have migrated all this data from XBMPD, so yeah, this might be this issue. Otherwise, if when we notify that now the issue on the ingredients has been solved, if you go to your product and the data is still missing, please raise a ticket. Most likely it's just an issue with the synchronization because, yeah, if there's data in XBMPD, there should also be data in the product UI and in PMS. But yeah, please wait for this. One thing is, if you are checking the manufacturer item ingredient section, then that's empty because for MRPs, we don't have data from Cyamed. But if it's the general ingredient section, then it's either this issue that I explained that will be solved mid of November. And if it's not solved by then raise a ticket. In the PMS dynamic reports, only the strength of active substance is provided. Will the missing strength be populated? So for non-caps, we don't have a strength on excipients. because in XCMPD this information is not submitted, and therefore only the strength of the active substance is there for caps. For non-caps, if I'm not mistaken, but I would need to check, we also have the strength for the excipients, because we have this information in XCMPD, in SciAmed, and therefore this data should be there. And I'm almost sure that the data should be there. If you don't find it, please, you can raise a ticket using the service product UI, PLM product UI, so the colleagues from the PLM portal can check if there is any issue with your product. But yeah, for caps, we should have them. For non-caps, not, because this data is not in XCMPD. Okay. We could not retrieve this product in my organization, also, although it is visible in the dynamic report. Well, here you would need to check in the dynamic report, if you are able to see it, whether the marketing authorization holder is correct, so the location ID is correct, and you have access to this one. If the authorization status is withdrawn or it's valid, and then if it's withdrawn, you need to remove the filter on the left-hand side of the table where you search for your products. And I will also check why maybe this discrepancy. But if it's in the dynamic report, you should be, or maybe it's a nullified product. And as we explained last time, and also in the PMS Q&A document, nullified products have been removed from the product UI, but not from the dynamic reports. They will be removed in 2 weeks. So instead of looking for the PMS ID, look for the name and check if there is any other PMS ID that is related to this product. Maybe this one was nullified, and that's why you can see it in the dynamic report, but not in the main table of the product UI. When exporting PMS data, the EV code is not included in the Excel, which make it difficult to compare with XCMPD data. Will this be changed? For example, that both PMS IDs and EV code will be included in the Excel output from PMS. So we might prioritize this for next year. Now, in the dynamic reports, you have the pack size report where you can export the PMS ID and a lot of more information, and also the EV code for each pack size. If you try to export the data from the main page or from the product UI, not from the dynamic reports, then the EV codes are not exported. You need to use the dynamic reports, and yeah, use the one with the pack sizes, because this way you will have all the information for all your products, PMS IDs, names, ME numbers, etc., plus the AV code. According to Chapter 7, the source for the medicinal product ingredient should be SciAmed for caps and XCMPD for NAPs, and XCMPD for pharmaceutical product ingredients. How to explain differences between these two sections, between the two ingredient sections, manufactured item and pharmaceutical product for NAPs? So here again, this might be related to the issue with the ingredients that we had, and that will be solved in 2 weeks. It's mid of November where we will be solving this. Because in the manufactured item, we shouldn't have data for NAPs. So that's why it's an issue that we have had with the ingredients and that we are solving. Then when do the video recording for the event of PMS on the 16th? I think Katerina already replied. This week we will have it ready.
Today, actually.
Today, then yeah. If we don't have the root MA number at the medicinal product level in caps, what steps should we follow to add it? That it's only happening for those products, those caps coming from XCMPD, which are for the countries Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. As stated in the Q&A document for PMS, those products have now been removed from the product UI, so you will not see them. For CAPs with the authorization country EU, you should have the root number because this is coming from SciAmed. So yeah, please check it. Again, for CAPs, then you only have those records coming from SciAmed for the authorization country EU. We have removed the others. The explanation and everything is in this PMS Q&A document. So all CAPs should have this MA number, the root MA number for these CAPs. If you don't have it anyway and you check and you don't have it, please raise a ticket and we will check why this is missing. What will be the unit of presentation for auto-injector? Well, I cannot reply directly to this here. I would need to have an example of the product. I would need to check RMS to see the units of presentation, which one we have. Maybe we have auto-injector as a standard term. I wouldn't really need to check, and I cannot do this right now. You can raise a question in ServiceNow with the example of the SMPC, and we can try to investigate which is if we have an RMS term for auto-injector, or maybe it's just injector. We would need to check. Then for countries like Italy, Portugal, and Hungary, a different MA number is issued for each different presentation for the same strength. Currently on PMS, the column for the MA number for this product is empty, or it shows only one of the MA numbers. That is correct, and that will be the case forever. So in chapter 2, where we have the business rules, how the data elements in PMS are reflected, it says that the MA number at the level of the medicinal product should be included only if all the packaged medicinal products, so all the packages, have the same MA number. Otherwise, this field will be empty and the MA number at the level of the package should be populated. So for those countries where the MA number is different for each pack size, then you will see the MA number on the packages and the MA number on the medicinal product will be empty, and that is correct. Then if you only have one package, then the system is saying, oh, all the packages, in this case only one has this MA number, then it is the same for the medicinal product. If you then add a new package, ideally what should happen is that you will have two packages with two different MA numbers, and the MA number at the level of the medicinal product will disappear. So it's a normal business rule that we have implemented, and it is explained in chapter 2. Why did EMA not check that Germany has two health authorities? Not every German MA is registered at the BfArM. How can we get the correct agency into our records? So we checked, and in fact, last week, we were checking it again. We are trying to find a solution to correctly distribute the product between BfArM and the Paul Ehrlich Institute. We are discussing with the NCAs because indeed they are actually part of our SMEs, and we are trying to identify a way to, first of all, the products that we already have in Germany, split them correctly between the NCAs, and then also look for a future business rule. So we can say, oh, this is a new product authorized in Germany. Let's see how we can assign it correctly to the correct NCA. Because this data is not in XMPD, we might need to implement some business rules. So we are on it. We are discussing with German NCA how can we how can we solve this issue. So yeah, it's we just need to apologize because here we knew it from the beginning, but then other priorities, we decided, okay, let's do it for the moment like this, and then we will find the solution, and we are discussing this now. Okay. Trying to ask about the structure, pack size, would EMA think about splitting the 28 tablet into two separate data elements, the numerical value 28 and the RMS term unit source presentation, instead of one single free text field. Yes, that is correct. That is what I explained before. So in fact, I'm going to show you in chapter 2, so you can see which is the data that you need to check. So if we go to the packaged medicinal product, we have the pack size, and here you can see that we have it's everything explained. The values that we should reflect in this pack size, so section 4.4, it's a numeric value and a unit, and the unit should come from the RMS list unit of presentation. So it could be 20 tablets, one vial and another vial, one tube. So please come here and check that this will be split in two different data elements, and yeah, which is the information that you need to provide. It will not be free text. There's a difference between the pack size and the package description. If a product is approved with the same pack size, for example, 28 tablets, but with two different types of blister, alu-alu, PVC-alu, how will this be reflected in the structure pack size description? Will this be one entry or two entries? So it depends. There are countries that if you have the same pack size, the same presentation, but with two different materials, for example, alu-alu and then PVC-alu, these are considered two different pack sizes. So in XCBMPD, you need to submit two pack sizes. In the package description, you would need to enter 28 tablets, maybe with the PMS, the national ID if you have it, and then you can explain also alu-alu and PVC-alu. But then in PMS, the pack size will be the same, 28 tablets. In the future, when we will request additional information in PMS, we also have materials. So you will be able to say, okay, this blister is an alu-alu and this blister is a PVC-alu. But in the meantime, that would be the approach to follow. I also see, Katerina, you have launched the survey. So I think, yeah, if you can please review, vote here in the survey, and in the meantime, maybe so people stay, we can reply to one more question. But yeah, please go to the survey. It's very important for us if you can just contribute, let us know how to improve, if this is good or not. So yeah, feel free to do. Oh, and I don't know what I have done. But I think we can take one additional question here.
Yeah, one last question.
Yes. Yeah. This way we keep people while they vote. Oh, sorry, it's here.
Yeah. You need to go through Q&A. Yeah.
Okay. So I have replied to this one. Then the loading of product data has been noticeably slow. Do you have a preferred browser for this? No. So I've been checking, and I'm using the product UI every day. I have not noticed any performance issue or that loading of products is very slow, and I have access to all the products authorized in Europe. I'm using either Chrome or Edge. So, and to be honest, we have not noticed anything on the performance. So maybe that is something that you would need to check on your end. If we receive like a lot of comments that the performance is an issue, we will check. But so far, we have not received any comment like this. And I will just read the last one. It will be any deadline for pack size split of the medicinal product that are not under the union list of critical medicines. So that is a question that we usually received. So during the PMS Info Day that it took place on April this year, we said that there is no real deadline for those products that are not falling under the union list of critical medicines to be submitted. but it should be ideally if the company would have this as a goal for the end of 2026. But again, it's not a strict deadline. It is not mandatory, at least for the moment, unless there is any specific use case. But yeah, there is no strict deadline. It's just, let's say, a goal for companies, so they have all the data already in XCMPT. So when we transition to PMS only, this data will be already there. But again, no deadline. It's not mandatory. For the moment, it's only for these products under this list. And I think with this, we have come to an end of this session. The next one, I think it was on the 22nd. So yeah, you are welcome to join. And yeah, have a nice day and rest of the week. And see you in the next webinars. Thank you very much.